How's it going, everyone? I'm a little upset today. You see, I bought this alligator mask because, well, frankly, it was cheaper than the raptor masks, which were like 60 bucks, and he was like 20. But I bought it under the pretense that I was going to like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and I was going to do this fun little skit where I recreated the shot where you first see the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, but I was going to be wearing the mask. But I realized that Myrtle Beach doesn't really have sweeping plains, it just has brutal humidity, and I don't have a helicopter. But I could. All you gotta do is go to patreon.com/ChrisTheNerd92 and you can donate money to us. No obligation. You get fun perks and maybe we can get a helicopter. Wow, that is amazing insight, Frederick. I appreciate your input and I'm sure they do as well. So until then, I guess you can just enjoy my video essay on Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and how stupid it is. Because this is not stupid at all. Enjoy! It was my hand. He's a mask. So Jurassic World came out and expectedly dominated its opening weekend at the box office. Also expectedly, the reviews were middling at best from audiences and critics. In fact, the overwhelming take I got from people leaving the theater was, I wish there was more Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum's character, and that was fine. You see, I wouldn't make a video on something that was just fine. I personally hated this film, and I don't quite understand the public's content with such subpar entertainment. More so why they keep saying that I didn't like it because I'm grumpy and I hate everything. I don't, and that's really irritating, by the way. I tried explaining that each character was uninteresting and stupid, to which they responded with, well, yeah, it has to be stupid or else there's no movie. The ending has to be stupid or else there's no sequel. And lo, I found my angle. You see, stupidity doesn't always have to beget more stupidity. In this video, we're going to discuss the plot, the characters, and the writers, and see why the stupidity among all of them came together to create a train wreck of a film. At its core, the plot of Fallen Kingdom is actually pretty solid. Dinosaurs live on Isla Nublar off the coast of Costa Rica. And that's Isla, not Isla, as everyone in this movie insists on saying for some reason. Nitpick. Moving on. Jurassic Park was there and was a massive failure, so all the humans left, and it turns out, haha, we accidentally built this place on top of a volcano. And it's gonna erupt. Tomorrow. Really hammering home that legacy of John Hammond, aren't we? I spared no expense, but my only programmer is Newman. I hired B.D. Wong as my chief scientist, who has Dr. Doofenshmirtz levels of success rate at this point, and I built my multi-million-dollar theme park on an active volcano. But at least the ice cream tasted good, eh, John?
Spared no expense.
Anyway, Claire Dallas Howard works for an activist group that wants to save the dinosaurs from sure re-extinction as a result of an impending eruption. In spite of the government and Ian Malcolm, whom I'll remind you has always been right, the things he was saying in 1993 are still applicable today, despite him and the government saying, hey, yeah, let him roast. Claire gets a call from Rafe Spall, who just so happens to be running a smuggling ring to get the dinosaurs to Sanctuary. But one dinosaur's giving him fits, and that would be Blue from the previous movie, so they need Chris Pratt's help as well to track her, capture her, and get her to safety. Now, all seems fine so far, right? That's a plot. That's something you could do something with that. But you see, this movie has a second half as well, and that's where things go, awry. It turns out random Rafe Spall is a lying liar. He's not bringing the dinosaurs to safety, he's bringing them to the basement of his employer and John Hammond's former partner, Benjamin Lockwood. The best part is Lockwood is near death and his medication makes him hilariously unaware of the goings-on in his own house. Seems to be a lot of screaming and roaring coming from the basement. Must be the Percocets kicking in. Now, why is he bringing them to the basement of his employer? Well, of course he wants to sell them, but not to the zoo or anything, no. He wants to sell them to literal mustache-twirling villains that will pay millions to use them as weapons, to the point that they've created another hybrid dinosaur that can be guided with a laser pointer. I mean, how many times does B.D. Wong need to get this stuff wrong? In the first movie, he added frog DNA to the dinosaurs, which allowed them to get over the fact that they were all female and not allowed to breed. When he created Indominus Rex in Jurassic World, he added frog DNA again, along with a bunch of other creatures, and it became a giant mishmash that wouldn't listen and destroyed everything. So why did he decide to create another hybrid dinosaur? What grounds? Third time's a charm? So they have an auction for the dinosaurs, which rakes in an anemic amount of money for what they're trying to sell, and the Indoraptor easily escapes its easily escapable situation through hijinks that rival Get the Stick Stupid in terms of sheer hubris and lack of a functioning occipital lobe. It kills a bunch of people until Chris Pratt and his raptor buddies stop it. Now, all of that probably seems fairly pedestrian. It's not great, but I don't think it's something to get upset over, not something that would sink a film completely, just a plot that's fraught with convenience and a little bit of silliness. Hold on. It's about to get really good. How much of what I just said, that entire plot synopsis, how often did I mention the main characters? Not very often. They don't interact with the plot, it just sort of happens around them. Rafe Spall's evil plan is to ferry the dinosaurs off of Isla Nublar and auction them off so he can make money. He needs Claire to turn on a tracking system and Chris Pratt to help them catch Blue. The rest of the film, I wouldn't be surprised if the entire script read, "Character runs away from dinosaur." The main issue with this film is the terrible side characters, but more specifically its villains. The movie has 3 human antagonists. What motivates each one of them? Why do they do what they do? Well, B.D. Wong is a science man who wants to do science. He enjoys creating dinosaurs. Failure doesn't really seem to faze him. I guess he just wants money. He just keeps making these things because he can. Buffalo Bill is kind of a weird sadist. He likes reaching into the mouths of dinosaurs and pulling out their teeth with the pair of pliers that he always carries on his person so he can make, I don't know, like a puka shell necklace or something out of dinosaur teeth. Rafe Spall's in it purely for the meager amount of money that he thinks is a vast amount of money. I mean, sure, $20 million probably seems like a lot to you and me, but it probably cost more than $20 million to create the Indoraptor. Here's some real-world context for you. This is Ryan Tannehill. Ryan is a quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, and he makes $20 million a year, and he just mediocrely throws a football around for 5 months a year. That's all you're gonna get for a militarized dinosaur that will attack whatever you point a laser at? It'd be more effective to send militarized Ryan Tannehills, and he'd probably obey you better. And he probably wouldn't need his handler. I assume. I've never met the guy. Maybe you're still not with me. A meager character arc and money-motivated villains, that's not really that bad. Well, I'm glad that I intentionally brought up that little character arc bit, because actually that moment, for being the only part of the film where someone did have an arc, it's actually ruined by the worst part of the movie, which we're going to talk about right now. Now, in that last bit where I talked about how bad all the characters are, you probably noticed I'd left out a significant character. Why did I do that? Well, it's the worst part of the movie. It factors into the twist that made this movie stupid up beyond all repair. Or recognition. Subar. And that is the character of Maisie. Maisie is the wink granddaughter, wink wink, of Benjamin Lockwood. And if you're awake at the time her backstory is revealed, you're gonna catch on to the fact that there's some shenanigans behind that statement. You see, Benjamin Lockwood, in all of his infinite Valium-induced wisdom, decided that not only was he going to put random Rafe Spall in charge of his fortune and company, he was also going to make her the legal guardian of his abomination daughter clone, instead of the maid who raised her. So at the end of the movie, Rafe Spall has all the characters trapped, and he's like, "Give that little girl to me." And Chris Pratt's just like, "Nah, man, you got your money. You go leave. We want the little girl. Let the little girl stay with us." And now in reality, Rafe Spall should be like, "Alright, yeah, sweet. I get my money. I've sold all these monsters, and I don't have to be this kid's legal guardian. My taxes just got that much easier to file." Although I don't know how you would file for illegal extinct reptile auctions. I guess if you're already committing a crime, you're probably not filing taxes anyway. So Rafe Spall is just the worst kind of person, because he's also committing tax evasion, and that is the lowest of the low. Now, I don't have a problem with there being human cloning in this movie. Not one iota. It's about cloning dinosaurs. Human clones are just one step away. What I do take issue with is the fact that this is supposed to make Lockwood look like some sort of tragic figure. Like, oh, in his grief at the loss of his daughter, he pushed away his best friend and business partner, and also committed a few ethics violations. Poor guy. Moreover, I take issue with how it factors into the ending. You see, while the Indoraptor is messing around, destroying things, it punctures an easily puncturable gas canister that looses a very toxic gas all throughout the basement area where the dinosaurs are being kept. And of course, the HVAC is down, but luckily they have a super hacker with them who they're like, hey man, do you think you could hack into the HVAC and make it work? And he's like, yeah man, I can do that. Actually, no I can't. It's Subar. So the dinosaurs are about to be gassed to death, and Claire has her arc. She realizes that they're all about to die, and she presses the buttons to let them out of their cages. And then there's one final Staples Easy Button sized button left that would loose them all upon the state of California. And that is when it takes place, and she decides, I'm not going to do this, because these creatures were created from hubris. They were not meant to walk the earth a second time. So she closes the little glass thing, little cover, little square cover that goes over it. She closes it and she steps away from the button. But then the stupid little kid presses the button. I was practically hyperventilating in the theater. I have never seen a character in any movie in this franchise do something so stupid. And I'll remind you, this is a franchise with, get the stick stupid, a scene where a man sticks his hand into the mouth of a raptor to pull its tooth out with a pair of pliers, and a scene where two characters decide to provide surgery to a baby T-Rex as it's crying to alert its mother. This little kid better have like a damn good reason for this, right? Like it's gotta be super concrete, right? No. She says, oh, they're alive like me. Oh, how charming. You idiot. Clearly, Benjamin Lockwood and Rafe Spall did a terrible job homeschooling you if you don't think there's a world of difference between you, a 6-year-old girl being alive, and a giant reptile that could eat a bus being alive. And it's not like she's unaware of what these dinosaurs can do. She just spent the better part of 45 minutes being chased by them. She nearly died numerous times. And it's not like she's unaware that the herbivores can also cause an immense amount of damage in a densely settled place like California. Essentially, in this movie, the little girl doomed all of humanity on a whim. But she gets to get away with it because she's being protected by Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, and I'm not allowed to be mad at her because, oh, she's a kid. Kids do stupid things. At the end of this movie, they show a montage of people about to be murdered by dinosaurs. That's the little girl's fault. There's so much more. I didn't even go into the really bad performances or the bad effects in places. Each character has this strange ability to teleport to where the plot is, even if we'd seen them in places that should be way further away. I'd even heard people say this movie was well directed, and granted, they did better than Trevorrow did with the last one, but I immediately recall a scene where there was a raptor hanging upside down from a rooftop like it's Spider-Man. This movie was awful, I hated it, it sucked, and saying that makes me feel a lot better. Hopefully soon there will be something that I play or watch that I'll enjoy and talk about here, but I highly doubt it because I'm grumpy and I hate everything. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I'd intended this to be kind of a quick video, but it sort of grew, like a little velociraptor that grew into a fully grown murder machine that you can guide with a laser pointer attached to a gun, which I've just realized if you have a laser pointer attached to a gun, why not just use the gun instead of using it as a velociraptor pointing tool? But I digress. Man's hubris. It shows even in dumb internet videos. Anywho, if you like this dumb internet video, like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, all that fun stuff. If you want to support the channel, and of course me making these dumb videos, consider checking out my Patreon, and even you could pick a topic for me to ramble about. Of course, follow my Twitters for some updates and the general musings on life. Thank you, bye!